Hi, I'm Saren.
And I'm Ray.
We're your Spider Baby hosts from To Know Her Is to Fear Her, a Spider-Woman podcast, as well as proud members of the collective.
You're listening to Capes and Lunatics. Gimme, gimme.
Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to make sure you know all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on all new episodes of Wade's World, Boob Windows and Long Boxes, our Hard R movie reviews, and so much more, all completely uncensored. Access starts for as little as $1 a month, full videos when you pledge $3 a month. Check us out at the link in all of our show notes, or just go straight to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Yeah, whatever. Ben Reilly, Spider-Man's clone. He's the guy. He's got a sweatshirt. Yeah, that's how you know he's different. And he's a blonde hair.
I love Ben Reilly.
Of course you love Ben Reilly, love Hellfire. Everyone knows that. Welcome back again. It's the end of the month. You know what that means. Scarlet Pimps! Anyway, I am Phil, and of course, joining me as always, it is...
Hello, everybody. Great to be back for another Scarlet Spider episode. I love Ben Reilly.
Yes, Matt Kona cannot join us again. Hopefully, for the last 2 of the year, we'll get Matt Kona back in here.
Cool. Hope to see you soon, Matt.
All right, so yeah, this is a big one because not only are we covering, Cyberwar from, all the number 2s of Scarlet Spider, the old Scarlet Spider series, but we actually have a new issue, Ray. Amazing Spider-Man 75. Yes.
It's exciting times to be a pimp.
It's a job.
I just read this recently. Recently as in this morning, and so really, really enjoyed it.
Oh, cool. Yeah. It's going to be 3 times a month for the next 6 months, so.
Mm-hmm. The art was fantastic. I really enjoyed the art first and foremost.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously good to see Ben Reilly back. A little bit different. No longer has he the mullet, which I'm a little upset at, but I realized that was the 90s. But no, it's great, and there's enough intrigue, I think, in it.
Oh, yeah. It's like, what does the Beyond Corporation want? And
and what's maybe because I have missed a bit of a hole in Ben Reilly's stuff since the Peter David run, but there's this kind of mystery with him and Dr. Kafka, I guess.
You know what? I don't think they've had anything about that yet. So
okay,
I'm assuming they're going to explain that, because even in that, did you see the preview at the end for JMD Matthias's? So yeah, it's like he I was surprised he was like unmasked in front of Dr. Kafka. So maybe they were going to explain it there.
Yeah, it was interesting anyway. Because in that actual issue, the story, he's swinging around without his mask. He seems to be a lot more carefree with that aspect. He was in the air, like he didn't have the mask on, then he puts it on. Mm-hmm. So I noticed that, and in that preview for next, and the preview for next issue, he's obviously demasking as well. So a few questions, I think, and curious to see where they take Zeb Wells, right?
Zeb Wells, at least this one, and I think next issue, and then I think Kelly Thompson takes over at 77. So,
oh, nice, really awesome. Oh, because I enjoyed her. There's a little exchange. There's another little backup story there with Misty and Colleen Wing, which was fun. Not really enough room to shine and kind of show the Kelly Thompsonness. But no, it was really. I'm excited. I love Kelly Thompson's writing, so that would be great to see her on the book.
And if you guys are listening, well, if you have plenty of time if you're seeing this on YouTube, but if you're listening to this on the podcast, this episode should be dropping on October 26th. All right, if you're listening to this on the podcast, tomorrow, October 27th, we'll be talking to Kelly Thompson. So if you have any questions about this new status quo, send them in. We'll ask Kelly Thompson. That'll be up on our Patreon.
Yeah.
So yes.
But what were your big moments or takeaways from this issue? Because it's you've been following Amazing Spider-Man up until Like I haven't, unfortunately.
Yeah,
yeah.
I've been reading this. So this is like the first issue of this new arc and the new creative teams and stuff. So I mean, yeah, this is like a fresh jumping on point. I'm very interested. Like I love Ben Reilly. I mean, this issue basically had stuff for everyone. Even Lilith was saying, because we talked this on Capes and Lunatics, that she loved this issue. Again, you had stuff for everyone, even Charlie, because he loves the UFOs. So
Oh, the UFOs! How cool were they? That was great. And the arrogance of Vector still kind of got that. Even kind of berating his own team, I thought was funny. But that leads me into Phil. I mean, if we're sticking just with this issue. Yeah. The Scarlet Spider suit. How cool is that?
Oh, I know.
It has, what was it? Some absorption properties, foam or something within the so he takes a blow from Ironclad and, without even flinching. And he's got all these other little, neat tricks in his suit. I think it's really, really cool.
Oh, yeah. If you didn't read the new comic book day issue, yeah. I mean, he was fighting, okay, get this. He was fighting Bushmaster.
Oh, okay.
A guy with the gun arms, and like Ben's like, I was told this suit could.
Oh, Bushwhacker, you mean?
Oh, Bushwhacker. Yeah. Sorry, I see you. I'm thinking Bushman. Yeah. Mr. Moon Knight. Yeah, Bushwhacker. Yeah. He's like shooting at him, and Ben's like thinking, "Oh, I was told this suit can take some damage." He shoves his arms into like Bushwhacker's gun barrels, and like, he blows up his arms. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
If you can find that somewhere, it's only a couple pages, but it's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. And then in this issue, Spidey's webs deflect off the suit. Mm-hmm. It has a radioactive or radiation shield to it. Lead-lined gloves. He dispatches X-ray with a punch through the head. So yeah, it was exciting to see Ben Reilly. I was not put off by, but he's very confident when he has that meeting with Peter at that restaurant. He's very kind of like, I'm not asking you, Peter. I've already signed the disclaimer or whatever, and I've already got the cash. So, he's very
like he says, he's like, I have the legal rights. They bought the name because I guess the Superior Spider-Man had trademarked the Spider-Man name, and then he's like, and he says, he's like, if they didn't go with me, they were going to go with somebody else. He's like, so.
Yeah. That's a nice little angle, but it's always good to have another Spidey there. Kind of as much as I love Spidey, it kind of leaves him for dead by way of. I mean, you saw it at the end. He's struggling. He's down and out. He's just got the normal suit, and Ben Reilly's just, he's just dusting himself off after that exchange.
Yeah, I mean, we need merchandise with this art on it. We need posters. We need all kinds of stuff with Patrick Leeson's art. I mean,
it's just so good.
Oh, I just love that two-page spread.
My God, yeah. How good is that? Like, and even, I mean, I really appreciated the faces.
Yes.
Because you have to obviously have the likeness of Peter, albeit the different hair. What did you think of, again, maybe this is something I've missed, Phil, but Janine? Is she, where did she pop up from?
We're going to get there. Well, if you remember when way back when we did Spider-Man The Lost Years, that was her in The Lost Years.
Janine.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and then
the waitress.
Yes, and then we're going to get a miniseries, Spider-Man Redemption, closer to the end of the 90s clone saga where,
Wow, that's a blast from the past.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We haven't seen her since the 90s, yeah.
Yeah, jeez Louise. That's great. Oh, cool. I was half expecting to see one of the either his neighbor in what we're covering now, or was her name Carrie?
Oh yeah.
Well, she kind of blows him off anyway. But anyway.
But man, all we need to do is get Miles Morales a redhead, and every Spider-Man will have a redhead now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there was that transition from Janine having the cropped hair. Like I can't remember one of the guys say, "Oh, nice hairstyle," and then it transitions to MJ. And I'm thinking, because I couldn't remember who she was. I was thinking, what, is Janine a clone now of MJ? Was she? Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I said, she was in The Lost Years. Then we'll get another one towards the end of the 90s. But looks like Russell's around. Okay, he's had a request since we did that G.I. Joe episode on his show on Cobra Commander. Ray, can you please say loud and clear, the Hard Master?
Why is that?
He wants a drop of it.
The Hard Master.
You're welcome, Russell.
There you go. I listened to that episode, by the way. It was very interesting. Interesting how all you guys got into Cobra Commander, like, and what was he, car salesman? I mean, that's that was hilarious.
Car salesman, yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, wait till we get the Megatron. I think we're doing that in November, maybe. God.
Nice. Oh, it has to be done, Megatron.
Oh yeah, I was more into those comics and that cartoon than I was even the GI Joe stuff. So
yeah, it just seemed that I thought Russell and Justin, they did have a plan. In one of the previous episodes, they're talking about they did have a plan for Megatron, but it fell through. But I'm glad to hear that it's still up. Still going to happen. So that's good.
So see, Russell, Ray's glad it's still up. So
the Hard Master.
Russell, I'll sell you that ringtone if you want. Who's calling? The Hard Master. So Ray, I don't know about you, but yeah, this was an A. This was an A for me.
Oh,
perhaps even
absolutely.
an A plus. Yeah,
absolutely. It got to what continued next week, and I was kind of like, "What?
Yeah,
no way." But I had to, between an A plus, I reckon it was a definite, perfect opportunity as a jumping on point for those who want to dabble. So don't feel like you'll be overwhelmed with the Spidey story.
Yeah.
There's enough there for you to latch onto, and beautiful to look at. Gleason's art. And just really well written as well. So
I can't wait for see what Kelly Thompson and the others do in here too, because I don't know if it's the rest of the year or maybe even January, but I saw coming up. I mean, they're really rocking that the Sony stuff. I mean, Craven's coming, Morbius is coming. So
is this what you're talking about? Films?
No, in the book.
Oh, in the book. Oh, yeah. Great. Oh, cool.
Craven,
awesome.
Craven, Morbius, Dr. Octopus. So.
Oh, love it. You got to have. And actually, I mean, just while we're still talking about it, how cool is there's that first shot where you see Ben Reilly hunched over when he goes on top of the name of the building. I can't remember it, where he goes to time out.
Oh, yeah.
But he's the spider insignia on his back is awesome. It's kind of like a stretched out, and to me it seems inverted. I think the legs go way and across. I don't know if you see it, like when Peter walks up to him. Yeah, how cool is that?
I know.
It's a nice...
Instead of the red spider, it uses the blue. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love the design. I'm wondering if Gleason designed it or whoever, but it's a pretty funky spider suit.
Oh, yeah. And then he throws that spider at Peter that ties him up.
Oh yeah, what the hell is that thing?
I don't know, man. That's like that cellophane S from Superman 2, man. He throws it on them. Yeah.
Well, that's another thing. It actually just leaves Peter up there, just bound.
I know. He's like, you'll be released in one. It says you'll be released in 1 hour. Take the time and think about what you're doing with your life.
Yeah, it's an upgrade from the impact webbing. I tell you that. I didn't see his wrist gauntlets. I'm hoping there might be some stingers there somewhere, and his impact webbing is there somewhere still, because they're cool.
There should be. I mean, I'm guessing it takes place before this, but Scarlet Spider right now is in the Iron Man book. He's off in space with Tony Stark, so I'm assuming that takes place before this. So
okay, does he have that suit or
he's in his regular Scarlet Spider suit. That's what I'm saying. So
okay,
before this, yeah.
Cool.
All right. So should we get to the classic issues?
Oh, yes. Let's.
All right, kids. We're talking some Cyberwar. We even got
Cyberwar. So cutting edge, Phil. So technological.
I know. So hip. So trendy. We even got a Green Goblin issue in here.
Yeah.
All right. So the fun starts in Web of Scarlet Spider number 2 from, and I'm sure these are all the same month.
December?
Why am I missing it here? Yeah, December 1995. You all right? Writers Tom DeFalco and Todd DeZago. Penciler Tom Morgan. 3 inkers: Randy Emberlin, Hector Colazzo, and Don Hudson. 3 colorists: Kevin Tinsley, Chi Wang, and Malibu Color. Letterer Steve Dutrow, and editor Eric Feen. In True Deceptions.
Yeah.
Okay. True. All right. So, Remember where we were at, kids. Although the body of Sewer Trainer is a lifeless husk kept alive by life support machines, his mind lives on in cyberspace after an encounter with Dr. Octopus in virtual reality. Yes, it's 1995, kids. He has been spending his time evading the security software that has been trying to purge him since his presence was detected. However, he intends to find out and stop the plans of his daughter, implanting part of his consciousness in her computers in order to mine them for the appropriate data. After completing his mission, Seward then flees the scene in order to take cover. I love he just like, what? He takes part of his brain, like, okay, let me know if things are going on.
I think it's pretty cool. Like, that's him now. Like, his body is just lying in a bed, but I mean, even it comes across in the subsequent issues as well. He's loving it. Like, he's literally like a superhero in cyberspace.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a scientist. He's like, hey, man, I'm not stuck in that old body anymore.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Ben Reilly is using Seward's virtual reality technology to find a trace of his friend's consciousness. Although Seward is fascinated over his current situation, Ben worries what will happen if Trainer's mind is gone from his body for too long. After failing to find Seward, Ben packs his bags and leaves for his job as a bodyguard for mobster Jason So. He hates the job since he knows that So is currently at war with Dr. Octopus over some advanced computer processors. On his way out, he wonders if he should stop in and see Carrie Bradley, but decides against it as she is likely still mad at him for abruptly ending their last date. While at Club Noir, Jason So contacts Alistair Smythe. He is furious that Dr. Octopus and her minions have attacked his club twice and demands swift reprisals. Smythe tells Jason to calm down and that they will get the revenge soon, telling So to come down to his lab in 1 hour. On his way out, Jason is stopped by his right-hand man, Orlando Canor. Orlando tells his boss that there are reporters from the Daily Bugle who want to interview him about the attack on his club. Having no time for such things, So orders Canor to deal with them. That's when he notices that Ben Reilly hasn't shown up for work and is annoyed that his newest bodyguard is always late. As Canor is dealing with Ken Ellis and Angela Yin, Ben Reilly arrives for work. He is concerned that they might mistake him for Peter Parker. Unfortunately, when he tries to slip away, Angela recognizes Ben and goes to talk to him. Figuring that his cover is blown, Ben is relieved when Angela figures that Peter Parker, quote-unquote, is working undercover for his story. Although Ben...
Yeah.
What you think?
Yeah. Oh, no, I'd love that. Angela, I love this kind of mix about how... Sorry, you're probably getting to it in the synopsis about how Ben's sprung as Peter Parker, but is kind of overheard by Canor. So I like that. It's like, oh, he's in enough trouble already with these journalists, but now it looks like he's going to have to contend with So and Canor.
Yes. Yeah, I know. Although Ben hasn't evaded a potential situation, Orlando notices that Ben and Angela seem to know each other and immediately doesn't like it as he has been suspicious of Reilly ever since he was employed at Club Noir. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, with the Darnell building, Jason So arrives for his meeting with Alistair Smythe. However, So becomes annoyed that he's being kept in the lobby when he wants revenge. This causes Smythe to laugh, and then it shows So his cyber slayers who will not grant Jason with his desired revenge.
What did you think of these Spider Cyber Slayers?
I love the timing. I love the timing. It's like, hey, there's no Spider-Man right now, so hey, let's change the branding to Cyber Slayers.
Yeah, they look pretty. I mean, they're fun. Yeah. I don't think much thought has been put into their design, but they're fun. They do the job, don't they? And I was wondering why Smythe is, he's got hands on hips, very heroic pose, and he hasn't got a shirt. But then it hit me. He's got those little pincers up on his shoulders. Like, you can't find a shirt that can conceal that. So that's probably why.
He's like half cybernetic now. So he's kind of like a cyborg. So it's like,
he doesn't need a shirt.
Kind of build himself abs and stuff. So
exactly.
But they will also slaughter their competition. He explains that the Cyber Slayers are the legacy of the Spider Slayer technology that was created by his father and the culmination of his plots to kill Spider-Man once and for all. Although Although this is his intended purpose for his Cyber Slayers, Smythe is certain that Dr. Octopus and her minions will be nothing but fodder when he takes his creations on their first test run. At that moment, at her secret headquarters, Dr. Octopus expresses her frustrations to her minions, Looter, Overdrive, and Aura.
Those people.
Over their failure to recover the stolen computer processors that she needs for her own schemes. Her tantrum is interrupted by the master programmer who tells her that Jason So is calling for her. Answering the call, the doctors ask for a meeting in neutral territory so they can discuss a peaceful resolution to their ongoing feud.
Oh, God, this coming up. This neutral ground. This would probably have to be the funniest location, I would think. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Well, back at Club Noir, Orlando Canor decides to verify his suspicions by doing a background check on Ben Reilly. This alerts Seward Trainer, who fears that Ben's lack of identity will convince Canor that he is a spy or a cop, and decides to do something to protect Reilly. Back at the hideout of Dr. Octopus, both she and the master programmer figure out that Jason So is trying to lead them into a trap. However, she figures that with her new strike force, she is able to defend herself. As she plots, she is unaware that she's being secretly observed by FBI agent Joe Wade, keep an eye on him, who has infiltrated Dr. Octopus's gang and tries to slip away to warn his superiors. However, he doesn't go unnoticed as his spying is observed by Lynette Martinez, a loyal follower of Dr. Octopus.
Deary me, this will be his massive undoing.
Oh, yeah. By this time, Seward Trainer has pushed himself to the limit to create false records about Ben Reilly.
This is awesome. I love this. This is a great idea of using this Seward Trainer in cyberspace again. So, yeah, I think this is pretty nifty.
I wonder if those records are still floating out there or what. Although this satisfies Orlando, he wonders why someone with a clean record would be interested in working for So. That's when Jason calls him and orders Orlando to organize his men for their meeting with Dr. Octopus. As Orlando rallies the men, he notices that Ben Reilly is still absent.
Hang on, but where is this rendezvous again, Phil?
At not just the zoo, the children's zoo.
Yeah, exactly. So not only do you have young ones, but we're talking animals as well. So animal lovers,
yes.
And for people that obviously love children, you can't get a worse place to hold an underworld, meeting.
I know. Having heard that this meeting is, maybe they all thought they were all going to behave. I don't know.
Maybe it's. I just immediately thought it was like some sick, sadistic thing that So decided to do.
Yeah,
we're going to double cross them, and we're going to take out a whole heap of innocent children and animals.
Having heard that this meeting is taking place at the children's zoo, Ben Reilly has slipped away to change into the Scarlet Spider in order to prevent any violence from erupting around the innocent zoo attendees. However, upon his arrival, the Spider is ambushed by Aura, Overdrive, and the Looter. As the Spider tries to lure the villains away from the people, they are then attacked by a pair of Cyber Slayers piloted remotely by Jason So and Alistair Smythe.
With the VR goggles.
Oh, I know. As they make short work of the minions of Dr. Octopus, Jason So revels in the power of these cybernetic creatures and begins plotting to betray Smythe and take them for himself. The battle eventually draws the attention of the police and the FBI, who arrive on the scene. With the Looter and his cohorts incapacitated, the Cyber Slayers leave, ending the conflict. Also arriving on the scene is Orlando and his men, who decide to disperse upon seeing the authorities on the scene, with the Looter, Aura, and Overdrive being taken into police custody. FBI agent Stephanie Briggs asks the Spider to come in for questioning. However, the Scarlet Spider politely declines and quickly swings away. While at Smythe's lab, Jason So continues to plot against his partner. Finally, at Dr. Octopus's hideout, the Doctor fumes at being double-crossed and vows to destroy Jason So, his Cyber Slayers, and the Scarlet Spider once and for all.
Yeah. A really enjoyable issue, I think. With the amount of the cast, I reckon DeZago doesn't really overplay his hand. It's still pretty straightforward, easy to follow. It doesn't seem messy because everything's kind of compartmentalized with Seward Trainer in cyberspace. Then you basically got the two factions of So and Dr. Octopus. And as Ben Reilly says later on, he's always stuck in the middle. So, in this episode, he's stuck in issue. He's stuck in the middle. So that's pretty much the premise. Stuff like the processor and chip, I mean, they're just words to me. I don't think the writers even knew what they sound technological. So that was about it. Yeah. But no, fun. I mean, what did you make of the action scenes and stuff, Phil?
I mean, I liked it. I don't know. There's something about the art. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't my cup of tea. I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't, but again, it wasn't like my favorite. I don't know, maybe two, because there was just so many hands in the pot. Like I said, there was like 3 inkers, 3 colors.
Yeah, well, it definitely shows, doesn't it? You'd think like with more people that you'd potentially get a more refined product. But yeah, it did. The art did seem, I don't want to say flat, but it was something just was kind of missing. Yeah. It was there, you know, you could actually see the characters, the layouts and stuff, but it didn't really have those finer details, which really makes art, you know, pop. You know, you just showed that Gleason double spread of Spider-Man. That's leagues above, unfortunately, these artists. But yeah, but it was fine. I mean, like again, the design of the Spider Slayers, very generic. They were very throwaway, and I guess you didn't have to invest that time in them. They just had to be scary looking, and potentially you'd have to be able to distinguish between them. And that was about it. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, Looter and Aura, and I mean, again, not too interesting. They were there to serve a purpose. The crux of this was basically just a meeting between the two factions. So I didn't mind the action. I thought it was good. It wasn't the greatest, and I didn't really care much for those characters. I still care a lot for Orlando, Wade as well. Most likely, and of course, Ben and Seward are the main ones.
Oh yeah. All right. So should we get to the next one?
Yeah.
All right. So the action continues in Amazing Scarlet Spider #2, again in December '95. Writer Tom DeFalco, penciler Mark Bagley.
Hey, you can see that.
Inker Larry Maltstead, colorist Bob Sharon and Malibu Color, letterer Bill Oakley, and editor Bob Budiansky. So the title of this one is Caught in the Game. The Game. In Paris, France, the mercenary known as Joystick meets with Henry, one of the referees of the Great Game. She has just arrived from a battle in Castellon de la Plana and hands over the spoils of her victory. A mask she removed from the face of the mercenary known as El Toro Negro. After collecting her money, she is interested when Henry tells her that her next target is in New York City. She learns that it is a non-player and the newest hero of New York, the Scarlet Spider. She's a little disappointed that she is not testing her abilities against Spider-Man.
A little jab there again. Scarlet Spider can't hide from the shadow that is cast over him. But again, opening up this, I like the premise of this straight away. There's some sort of nefarious game afoot. Just reminds me of some of those kind of tropes you see in the films. So a good introduction to Joystick, who unfortunately I think has a terrible name. But anyway.
Yes. Oh yeah, well, we're going to get more of the Great Game in a couple months here, so.
Cool.
Yes. While in New York City, the Scarlet Spider has interrupted a brawl between two rival street gangs. Not needing this sort of trouble right now, the Spider quickly webs up the gang members and rushes to Club Noir, where he is already late for his shift. As he arrives for his shift, Ben Reilly continues to be concerned that his boss, Jason So, is involved in some kind of criminal activity. Before he starts his shift, Ben takes a moment to call Carrie Bradley to apologize for cutting their date short the night before. She accepts his apology and agrees to go out on another date. However, she thinks to herself that this is the last chance she is willing to give Ben Reilly. After his phone call, Ben's co-worker, Rachel, comes by to say goodbye. Since Club Noir is under repairs, she isn't going to make any money and has decided to quit to find work elsewhere. As she leaves, she suggests that Reilly do the same before he is stuck in a rut. Meanwhile, in cyberspace, the virtual avatar of Seward Trainer is amazed by his new life, even though his physical body now lays comatose in a hospital bed. He has been spending his time combing the internet to try and find data on the crimes of his daughter, the new Dr. Octopus. While at her hideout, Dr. Octopus is furious at the Scarlet Spider's interference in her plans. However, the master programmer has assured her that they will soon have the means to defeat their foe. To this end, the master programmer is sent through the internet to make contact with a woman known as Stunner.
Yes. And I'm glad we get to see a look inside the internet. I always wanted to know what it looks like. There it is. Green and circuity.
Oh.
But Stunner, yeah. So we saw her previously a while back. She mysteriously disappears, and yeah, we kind of get a sense of where she's coming from now.
Definitely. Yeah, he intends to recruit her into their cause. As they talk, Stunner finds something familiar about the master programmer. However, all he can tell her is that he is a friend. They say just a friend.
I still have no idea who it is, Phil, but yeah.
It's basically a copy of Otto Octavius's mind. So.
Oh, okay. That was my only suspicion because she, has that connection with him. But yeah.
And you can find out how he returns to his regular body from this state if you listen to our previous episode that Littlefinger and I recorded. So. As this is going on, Dr. Octopus is contacted by her spy, Lynette Martinez, who tells her that her observations of Joe Wade have turned up some suspicious behavior. It's at this point that Sewer Trainer discovers that his daughter has developed technology to physically enhance and enslave her victims and leaves to warn Ben about this right away. Later, back at Club Noir, owner Jason So is furious about recent developments, including the recent attempt on his life, the damage done to his club, and the Daily Bugle making accusations that he is involved in organized crime. How dare they?
Incidentally as well, I like how in this thing, so Mark Bagley draws him with actually a bung eye. So his eyes are over the scar. But yeah.
When Orlando suggests they ignore the press, So refuses to do so. He then orders Ben Reilly to go and talk to the reporter responsible, Ken Ellis. This creates some problems for Ben, who fears that if he goes to the Daily Bugle, he may be mistaken for Peter Parker. Jason So isn't the only one who is looking for Ken Ellis, as Joystick has arrived outside of the Daily Bugle building. She has targeted Ken Ellis since he has been making all the news reports on the Scarlet Spider. Entering the office, she runs into Phil Urich. Remember him?
Phil! Yes.
Who is smitten by Joystick's good looks. She tells him that she is looking for Ken Ellis and gives Phil her card and tells him to give it to Ken. Phil promises to do so. However, he doesn't like Ellis and intends to give the information to his uncle, Ben Urich.
Yes. And I've got to say, Phil Urich really needs to get a girlfriend or something. He's got sex on the mind.
Ooh, that sure was close. I didn't get manhandled.
Joystick. That's when Ellis bumps into Phil and is easily tricked into checking out a false lead on the new Green Goblin. Outside, Ben Reilly is sent to deal with Ellis, and just for his luck, Ken is just leaving the Daily Bugle. As Ben goes after him, he's briefly noticed by J. Jonah Jameson, who thinks he recognizes Reilly as Peter Parker, but dismisses it as his imagination. Also following Ken Ellis is Joystick, who tails him from her van when the reporter hops into a taxi cab. Meanwhile, Phil Urich returns to his loft where he takes out his Green Goblin costume. By this time, Ben has changed into the Scarlet Spider in order to follow after Ken Ellis. That's when he's ambushed by Joystick. She explains that he has been made a target of the Great Game and attacks him. As the Spider tries to defend himself, Ken Ellis notices the battle and rushes to get a closer look. This puts Ken in harm's way, but he is saved from falling debris thanks to the timely arrival of the Green Goblin.
Some great art here from Bagley as well.
Always. Seeing the arrival of the Goblin, Joystick radios in to tell her controller and tells him that she wants to increase the prize money and she will get for taking out both heroes. Just before Joystick can eliminate the wall crawler, however, her controller reminds her that this is just an initial attack and that for non-players they must give them a chance to prepare a counter defense against their foe. With this,
introducing some rules to the game, which is it's not just an out and out hit. Yeah, it's a bit more sophisticated.
Oh yeah, because as we'll learn later on, there's like big money makers like betting on all these matches and stuff. Yeah. With this, Joystick slams her weapons together, creating a blinding flash to cover her getaway. When the Scarlet Spider's vision returns, he finds only the Green Goblin remains. The Goblin offers his help in tracking down Joystick, but the Spider is not interested. Learning that it is 6 o'clock, the Scarlet Spider realizes he is late and rushes away. Unimpressed with this encounter, the Green Goblin decides to leave as well, leaving Ken Ellis stranded on a water tower. As Joystick plots the next phase of her plan, Ben Reilly arrives late for his date with Carrie Bradley. She is upset with him, but she forgives him for it since he actually showed up. However, things are not looking good for Ben's hopes of dating Carrie. Just then, his spider sense goes off, alerting him of a mugging that is happening behind them. Before Reilly can slip away and become the Scarlet Spider, the purse snatcher comes running by them and is clotheslined by Carrie. Ben is surprised how quickly she acted on this situation. Unfortunately, Bradley is unimpressed that Ben stood by and let it happen and decides to end their date.
It's just like it's like ending the relationship before it's even begun.
I know. I'm like, have they even kissed or anything? I'm like, oh.
No, he's just arrived at their first date and he was late, and so she dumps him. That's pretty, yeah. Anyway.
I know. It's like, can you get dumped if you were you really together? It's like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. True.
While back in Paris, Henry has his meal interrupted by El Toro Negro, who demands to know where Joystick is. Even though there are rules against personal vendettas in the great game, El Toro still desires revenge against the woman who bested him. And as we'll get to in a few minutes here, yes, Green Goblin number 3, the story continues.
Yeah, he looks, I mean, throughout this whole kind of arc, there are a lot of, aren't there? There are a lot of kind of C-grade characters. El Toro, Negro, I mean, if anything, the most interesting thing I got from him was, we'll see later on, where he gets described as a poor man's Punisher. I mean, that at least gives you some sort of sense. Other than that, he's just some dude with some grenades stuck on his chest. He doesn't seem too interesting. Joystick is a little bit more interesting because she's so invested in this game. Costume design is pretty cool. I mean, it's not totally memorable. And I just was thinking, like, is she a mutant because she's got those special abilities? So yeah, it was a pretty cool issue. Bagley Art elevated it, of course, as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. And yeah, remember we last saw the Green Goblin in what is that? Web of Spider-Man 125.
Was that when he crashed through? They went through that hospital
when they were on the bridge. No, remember when they were on the bridge and they were chasing?
Oh yes,
that clone of Gwen Stacy and the clone of Miles
Yes,
Morales. Yeah,
that's right.
Oh no, wait, he was in the Spectacular Spider-Man 1 too. Yeah, remember he fought that fire guy?
Yeah. He crashed through. I can't remember. I thought it was a hospital. Maybe it was a Daily Bugle. Can't remember. But,
it might have been.
Oh, that as well. Yeah, the fire guy as well. Yeah.
Yeah, they were all over the place. All right, so should we get to the next one?
Yeah, this is a bit of a pause from the main story.
Yeah,
but we get to
I mean, it keeps going with the great game, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're trying to get the numbers up on Green Goblin by throwing Scarlet Spider in here.
Yeah.
All right, so Green Goblin number 3. Sure. Yep, same month, December 95. Writer Tom DeFalco, penciler Scott McDaniel.
Oh yes, I've got. Anyway, we'll get to that. But his art's cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes, well known for working on. Well, he did some time on Nightwing. He did. He drew
Daredevil.
He drew Daredevil during the D.G. Chichester era. Yes.
If you're not D.G. Chichester, you can't write ninjas.
I cannot wait to play that for D.G. Chichester.
If you're not D.G. Chichester, you can't write ninjas.
Look, I'll just say it now, though, with Scott McDaniel's art, really cool. His layouts are amazing. They're so different. Sometimes it can be a little bit hard to follow, but he does fill the page. That's one thing. And, I like his art. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he is penciler and inker in this. Colorist Joe Rosas and letterer Jim Novak. And that's all I have. All right. Title, Joystick on My Mind.
Dear me.
What is this, the Little Hellfire story?
That's a mouthful.
Okay. Phil Urich has found himself in a bit of a strange dilemma. During one of his recent adventures as the Green Goblin, he encountered the supervillain known as Joystick and finds himself smitten by the woman. He wonders how other heroes can keep their minds on their jobs when some of their foes they battle are attractive women.
Oh my gosh, this guy.
He thinks back to how Joystick first showed up at the Daily Bugle looking for reporter Ken Ellis, and how this was merely... Yeah, so basically we're just recapping Amazing Scarlet Spider 2.
So look, he's also got a point, anything about the, superheroes, the female superheroes at least, because back in the 90s, their costumes, some of them, were quite revealing. So
couldn't get the front of those costumes zipped up for the life of them. I know.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's thinking about everything about how Joystick got away. However, Phil still has her business card that has the address of the hotel she's staying at. Phil decides to pay her a visit as the Green Goblin, even though he promised to meet up with the Spider later to compare notes. Putting on his Goblin mask, Phil was charged with a painful electrical jolt that triggers his transformation into the Green Goblin. Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar. Yeah, the origin was in the first issue. He finds a old warehouse full of, I don't know if it was Harry Osborn's or Norman Osborn stuff, but yeah, he finds a Goblin costume, and like half of it's like a Goblin formula, so like he doesn't have any of the strength or anything until he actually puts the suit on and stuff.
Okay, so it's a bit of a variation on the serum. He puts on the mask and something happens. What, some chemical thing, or okay?
Yeah,
or is it technological?
Well, it's kind of both, because he was basically splashed with these chemicals, but like he doesn't get the full thing until he throws the mask on. After some trial and error, the Green Goblin finds Joystick's hotel room. Going inside. Oh, did you love that, Ray? When he's looking from room to room, when he sees those.
Oh, dearie me!
And they're like, oh, look!
The Falco couldn't help himself.
They're watching some caped crusader.
I love that man.
I reread that part again, and all I could hear was you going, "Son of a bitch! I can't get away from him."
I love Batman.
Going inside, he's embarrassed to find nothing but a note for the Scarlet Spider. Still, he decides to read the note anyway. However, this is a trap, and removing the note from the night table sets off a gas bomb. Thankfully for the Goblin. Oh, I know, Ray. Sorry. All right, so yes, he sets off a gas bomb.
Thank you.
Thankfully for the Goblin, his high-tech mask filters out the harmful effects of the gas and manages to escape before security can come bursting in. Looking at the note left for the Scarlet Spider, the Goblin discovers that Joystick wants the hero to meet her at a nearby power station, where people will die. As the Goblin flies to the power station, Joystick gets a notification that her bomb was set off from her mobile base. Although she isn't entirely sure that it was the Spider who set it off, she's excited at getting another chance of eliminating him as part of the Great Game. That's when she gets a call from Henry, a Great Game referee stationed in Paris. Henry warns that he was visited by El Toro Negro, who has vowed to track Joystick down and avenge his defeat at her hands. Despite this warning, Joystick is unafraid of this new threat and vows to win the Great Game and claim the cash prize. At that very moment, El Toro Negro has arrived in New York City and is already stalking his prey. Meanwhile, the Green Goblin makes his rendezvous with the Scarlet Spider and shows him the note he got from Joystick. The Spider thinks the Goblin is crazy, and thinks the threat is bogus, since Joystick hasn't committed any crimes. He suggests that they warn the police and leave the situation be. Although the Green Goblin agrees to this plan, he goes to the power station alone anyway. There he is ambushed by Joystick, who is not willing to listen to his request to talk. They then are attacked by El Toro Negro, who lashes into Joystick. The Goblin comes to her aid, but El Toro Negro is too powerful for him. Although he manages to stun El Toro with his Goblin laugh. Oh yeah, that's built into the magic to a Goblin laugh.
Yeah. I don't know the mechanics of it, but I still think it's a pretty cool thing. Like I just love it. It's just so maniacal. He starts laughing, but I'm assuming it must be like some sonic.
Yeah, I'm guessing it has to hit like a certain high level of decibel. Or, it's just painful.
But like he gets zapped big time by the voltage, right? And he just sits up and he starts laughing. I think that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. The villain is only staggered by a kick in the face from the arriving Scarlet Spider. While the two heroes battle El Toro, Joystick begins slowly recovering from the attack. Ultimately, the Scarlet Spider knocks out El Toro Negro with an onslaught of punches. Meanwhile, Joystick convinces the Green Goblin to let her go, leaving him swooning after she kisses him on the cheek. In the aftermath of the battle, the Scarlet Spider is furious that the Goblin let Joystick get away. However, the Goblin doesn't have any interest in hearing the Wallcrawler's speech about power and responsibility, telling the Spider that he isn't a hero and leaves. And again, Land's just like, he gets home, changes out of his costume, begins thinking about what to do, and then, yes, he goes outside and runs into Rico the Sicko, the local psychopath who has been looking for him for days. So, yes, that continues in his book, yeah. But it's a pretty good book. Look, I enjoyed it. I like Scott McDaniel's stuff. His layouts and his art just kind of very different. And I think especially with him inking it as well, you kind of get the full sense of the effect he wants to achieve. And there's some really good shots here of like the Goblin riding in his glider, or El Toro jumping down from wherever he jumped down from. That sort of stuff. I think it was really cool. I'm not too sure what to make of the Green Goblin as a hero or trying to be a do-gooder, but Phil Urich is an interesting character. Yeah, I mean, eventually, right before Superior Spider-Man, like he goes evil and goes off the rails. I mean, he was out of commission for a while because around the time of Onslaught, like one of the Sentinels like trashes the suit. So yeah, he's out of action for a couple of years. But is he meant to be like a teenager, or because why is he on Heat so much? That's what I just want to know. Like, is he just like some? Yeah, I don't know if he's either like late teens or early 20s. Yeah, young. Because I mean, Scarlet Spider looks like an old man compared to him. You know what I mean? Acts like an old man compared to him. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because like, I don't think Peter Parker is. I don't think he is any older than like mid 20s, probably. So yeah. Phil Urich's probably late teens, early 20s. Yeah. But yeah, no, a fair issue. I don't know. Did you enjoy it? I mean, did you collect the whole Green Goblin run? Or? I collected a lot of them. I didn't get the whole series. I know I got a bunch of the first ones. Then I got like the last one when he loses the suit and stuff. But okay, I mean, it was only about 12 issues, wasn't it? Or it was something like that. It might have been. I'm trying to remember. Yeah. It might have been a little more. But yeah, it was. It didn't get out of the teens. I know that. Yeah, but I mean, it was decent. But it was just like how, it's DeFalco and another DeFalco take on. Hey, look, here's another guy who just kind of like fell into superpowers. Kind of like Thunderstrike and yeah. And I know from hearing an interview with Tom DeFalco that he was always put on. I don't know, as a writer or editor, but he was always put onto books to help. Like the fledgling titles. So he's obviously here, writing some really fun tales, but I guess trying to prop up this Green Goblin series, which I guess never really went anywhere after this. So yeah, like I said, he kind of gets taken out during Onslaught, but you kind of figure they were trying to bump the numbers because they made a crossover with Scarlet Spider. Yeah, but I wonder if they had plans to have like an ongoing. This is the 90s, right? Where you get more than 25 issues. I was wondering if they were planning for more, but maybe sales weren't that good. Yeah, but when he gets taken out, it's like 1996. So again, at that point, the bankruptcy is coming. It's they're starting to like cut titles down and stuff. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, got two more. You ready for the next one? Yeah. All right, back to Scarlet Spider number 2. Again, December 95. Along came a virtual spider. Writer, our buddy Howard Mackey. Mm-hmm. Penciler, John Romita Jr. Inker, Al Williamson and Joe Rubenstein. Colorist, Kevin Tinsley. Letterer, Richard Starkings, Comic Craft. And editor, Bob Budiansky. All right, kids. Thought it was weird before. Can't see nothing else. At the secret Staten Island facility owned by Dr. Octopus, FBI agent Joe Wade has been working undercover to infiltrate her organization. He believes he has finally gotten into the doctor's facility by seducing Lynette Martinez in order to get inside. Man, lots of horny guys in this episode, man. I know. And can I just say, before this, heavy on innuendo, these opening 2 pages. My gosh, I was reading it going, Howard, freaking hell yeah. You saucy dog. Yeah, can I check out the hardware? I know.
Yeah, that's so funny.
The 90s. However, this is a trap set by Dr. Octopus, who ambushes him the minute he enters the facility, stripping off his uniform. Jeez, that's what he was going to do that anyway. Ken finds himself placed in one of her new virtual reality projectors. As the setup is explained, Ken tries to get Lynette to help him. However, she reveals that she is married and her husband is one of the technicians, hooking him up into the machine. Just as he is realizing how trapped he is, Joe screams in agony as the virtual reality goggles are forcibly implanted into his eyes.
That looks so painful. There are like a gazillion pins, for those that don't know, and they just insert all into his eyes.
It's the 90s, man. They're going for Pinhead. Ugh. At that moment, high above, the Scarlet Spider has hitched a ride under a cargo plane to get himself over the facility. Thanks to the information provided to him by Seward Trainer, he has managed to track down this facility. Leaping off the plane, he fashions himself a web parachute to safely land on the roof of a nearby building. Before the hero can go into action, he is stopped by FBI agent Stephanie Briggs, who orders the wall crawler not to enter the building as it would compromise the Bureau's investigation. Back inside, Dr. Octopus continues hooking Joe Wade into the device, explaining that she is going to implant information about the Scarlet Spider directly into his mind. Observing this procedure is the master programmer who is handling the programming from cyberspace.
Yeah, actually, he looks pretty cool, actually. Like, we're starting to get a bit more of a visual on him. He was a bit of a pixelated blur in the last issue. But I like the aesthetic of him. He's just kind of shiny gold.
Again, virtual reality can make whatever body you want, and it's auto, so he's finally giving himself abs and hair, good hair, yeah.
And hair, good hair, so.
As they begin creating a virtual avatar, they are unaware that they are being spied upon by Seward Trainer. However, when the avatar begins taking the shape of the Scarlet Spider, Seward cries out, alerting the master programmer of Trainer's presence. Back outside, Briggs orders the Scarlet Spider to stand down. Suddenly, the hero's spider sense begins going off, and he pushes Stephanie to safety as the side of the building explodes. They then witness a solid hologram of the Scarlet Spider leap out of the building. Realizing that he doesn't need this, the Scarlet Spider quickly chases after the imposter. In cyberspace, Dr. Octopus enters the virtual world to confer with the master programmer. She admits that they have lost control of Joe Wade by activating the Scarlet Spider avatar and assures him that they will be taking control of their virtual spider into parts, so the master programmer to deal with the intruder in their midst.
So isn't also as well, so Seward's daughter, Caroline, Dr. Octopus, didn't you say, I can't remember, didn't she have something against Otto before? So does she know that this is like a duplicate of Otto's mind? No, I thought she despised him.
No. She was like he was like her mentor or something. I think she's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, they really don't go into it, but yeah, I'm pretty sure she's like, yeah, he's my mentor and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah, she knows because like when they're gonna like resurrect him again, see last episode. Yeah, like she's the one. She's like, well, here's a computer program of his mind.
Yeah. Right.
While beneath the streets of Manhattan, Alistair Smythe has an audience with Jason So and his bodyguard Orlando. Smythe is working on completing his Cyber Slayers and is not happy about So interrupting his work and tells them to call next time. Call ahead. As they leave, So asks if his other bodyguard, Ben Reilly, is reported for work. Orlando explains that Reilly hadn't shown up for work before they left and doesn't like the fact that Ben is always late for work.
I think that's hilarious. Like these criminal underlords, underworld figures, he's having problems with his bodyguard. He's never here on time. Like it's such a funny, seems to be like a domestic issue.
I know the crime lord wants him to be like a 9 to 5 guy. It's like, oh, okay. And how many days has it been? Ben hasn't gone to work at all this episode.
He's such a slacker. Oh man,
Meanwhile, the Scarlet Spider arrives at the Verrazano Narrows Bridge and sees that his imposter has created a mess. He continues after this imposter, intending to stop him before someone gets seriously hurt. While back at the lab, Stunner tries to reach out to Joe Wade and convince him to stop fighting his integration into the virtual reality machine. She explains that she was given a virtual self by the original Dr. Octopus, who created her a beautiful body. However, Joe refuses to give up fighting, thinking that the gift of a virtual avatar is actually torture, and shuts her out as well. At that moment, Lilith and I talked about this last episode. It's like, yeah, supposedly Otto loved this woman, but you know, she was like this chubby woman, and he gives her this virtual reality avatar, and she's like, oh, because he loved me. It's like, really? Because it seems like he doesn't like the way you look, so he's giving you this avatar. You know?
Yeah, exactly. That's, you know, if he was in love with her, he wouldn't be doing that. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I like Doc Ock, but yeah, that's not really. Maybe I was just going to put it down to him being just a maniacal, egotistical guy. But then again, I mean, you see years later from now, Superior Spider-Man, then he fall in love with one of the Parker Industries researchers as well.
Oh, yep.
And she's, you know, she's a shorter stature.
Anna Marie.
So
yep.
Yeah, so kind of in direct contrast, like appearances aren't necessarily, you know, you don't have to have a Barbie doll appearance.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Over here, though, it seems like he does. Stunner.
He just wanted a hot bodyguard. That's all he wanted.
Yeah.
At that moment, the virtual Scarlet Spider is running amok in Manhattan, webbing up everyone in his path. He eventually arrives at the Daily Bugle building and covers the building with webbing and begins pulling at its foundations. Inside, J. Jonah Jameson orders his staff to record everything that is happening. That's when the real Scarlet Spider arrives to fight off his imposter. The virtual spider then manages to create an automatic weapon out of thin air.
So cool.
Cue the giant Uzi on the cover.
Yeah.
And begins.
Yeah, that explains it. Yeah.
And begins opening fire on the hero. Realizing that his opponent is getting more dangerous by the moment, the Scarlet Spider begins assaulting the imposter with a series of impact webbing.
Yes.
A couple of balls down the gob.
With the fake Scarlet Spider subdued, the wall crawler rips open the ball of webbing, but is surprised to find nothing inside.
I have to say that I laughed out loud. That was hilarious. You know, it's that kind of thing of, no, there's someone here, let me show you. And they're not there. Like, that is total egg on face. I just found that the funniest.
I know, so they think he's crazy. By this point, the police have arrived on the scene to arrest the wall crawler, but he manages to escape. Witnessing all of this, but unaware that the attacker was an imposter, J. Jonah Jameson orders Ken Ellis to use the Bugle's resources to crucify this new menace.
Yeah. So a nice little ending. Again, just going back to that reveal where he rips open the impact webbing. I found it funny because, the next panel is just like Ben Reilly turning, and they're just like click, 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 all these guns trained on him. So I thought it was, pretty funny. I enjoyed this. This issue has some good John Romita Jr. art. Not the best, but by far not the worst, because I've seen some terrible Romita stuff. So this was really kind of enjoyable. And as far as, I guess, Cyberwar goes, this second and third issues are probably would be my favorites. I mean, sorry, not the Green Goblin one. Yeah. The part 2 and part 3. Probably my favorites. This was a very solid issue.
Oh yeah, I mean Romita, I love his stuff on Spider-Man and Daredevil. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's just like the more the build of the characters, because like he's done time on Thor and Superman, and I don't know. I don't like his stuff on Thor and Superman as much as I'd agree. I mean Thor, I don't mind as much. But I mean definitely Daredevil, Spider-Man, Scarlet Spider are pretty strong. Yeah. I know you don't want to mention it, but he even did. I think he did a little bit. He did a story or two on Batman.
I love Batman.
I don't recall.
That's right, Ray. Batman, who Mark Waid personally told me is this fictional character who's had more stories written about him than any character in human history.
Any character in human history?
Yes. Yeah. Wow. You figure at some points he's had like a book like almost every week, and
more than Moon Knight.
Oh, I don't know. Let me count them up.
I love Batman.
More than anyone. More than Superman. I mean, again, there's the points he's had 4 books a month, so it's basically a book a week.
Yeah.
Just watch your step on the DC side, Ray, because I think they said in November Batman either Batman books or books with Batman in it are going to be like half the DC line in November. So
I am going to be treading the DC universe like a minefield to avoid that.
I love Batman. That's just a really nice package.
I wasn't talking about him then.
Hey-o. All right, so should we get to the last one?
Yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, in progress, Phil. I mean, thoughts. I'm enjoying Cyberwar so far. I think it's been pretty good. Yeah, are you enjoying it?
I like. Far? I like it. I mean, the ending, which we're about to get to, at the end, I don't know. There's something that doesn't sit right with me, and we'll get to the whole.
Okay.
All right. So, all right, kids. It ends in Spectacular Scarlet Spider #2. Again, December '95. Arachnus Ex Machina, Spider in the Machine. Writer Todd DeZago. Penciler Sal Buscema. Somebody's getting right crossed.
Whoa. Backwards. Mouth agog.
Oh, yeah. Inkers Bill Sienkiewicz and Jimmy Palmiotti. Sienkiewicz.
Yeah.
Colorist John Calise and Malibu Color. Letterer Clem Robbins and editor Eric Fiend. Caught in the middle of a gang war between Jason So and Dr. Octopus, the Scarlet Spider finds himself on the wrong side of the law after a virtual ganger of the hero ran amok in Manhattan. Surrounded by police and an angry mob, the web-slinger flees as the police officers begin to open fire. Later at the Darnell building, Jason So meets with his his employee, Alistair Smythe, to see his newly built Cyber Slayers. So tries to call Ben Reilly, his bodyguard, but gets his voicemail.
This guy is not having luck with his bodyguard. I find it slightly comical.
I know.
Because he's a big figure dude. Like, you know, he's got a scar on his face. He takes no crap from anyone. He kills people. He did that early on. Didn't he mow down that guy? So he's serious. Yet he can't get his bodyguard to turn up on time.
Yeah. Give me a call back. How hard is it?
Yeah.
How hard is it?
Furious that Raleigh is unavailable, Jason tells Ben that he is fired. He then tells his assistant Orlando to go back to Club Noir and throw Raleigh out if he shows up. Orlando points out that this will leave Jason without a bodyguard, but the mobster points out that he doesn't need one now that they have the Cyber Slayers to protect them. After Orlando leaves, Smythe puts on a specially made virtual reality headset which he uses to control his new creations. Outside of the office, the Pro remember the Pro, kids?
Mm-hmm.
Watches as Orlando leaves the building and decides to finish the job he has been hired to do.
Yep.
Meanwhile, at her Long Island facility, Dr. Octopus is fed up with failure and decides to act herself. She is furious that So stole the components she needs to merge reality with virtual reality.
So yeah, I mean, this is the end game, right? Isn't it? I mean, because she wants to bring her lover into the world. Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool concept of actually not only just materializing them, but actually permanently having them cross the threshold. Yeah.
She wants to do this so she can bring the master programmer into the real world. While she is doing this, the master programmer plans on searching for the mind of Seward Trainer, who has been a threat since his mind was trapped in cyberspace. As the pair depart to carry out their task, they are unaware that Seward Trainer, having cloaked his consciousness, has been spying on them all. In another room in the facility, the woman known as Stunner tries to convince Joe Wade to stop fighting his connection to the virtual reality device that has forced him to become the virtual Scarlet Spider. However, the FBI agent refuses to submit, prompting Lynette Martinez, the woman responsible for Wade's current condition, orders him to be sedated. At that same moment, Ben Reilly has returned to his apartment, worrying about being late for work. Jeez. I know. There's a Scarlet Spider rampaging out there, but let's worry about work.
Yeah, exactly.
Outside, the tenants have been evacuated and are afraid of the Scarlet Spider. Ben is horrified, realizing that the virtual Scarlet Spider has been sent here to go through Seward Trainer's apartment. He is then joined by Carrie Bradley, who tells Ben that his apartment has been trashed by the intruder. That's when he notices Daily Bugle reporter Ken Ellis and photographer Angela Yin arriving on the scene. Fearing they might see him, Ben slips away while Carrie is not looking. Sneaking into his apartment, Ben looks around, upset that his life as Ben Reilly is being intruded upon. He checks the voicemails and is even more upset after hearing Jason So's message.
That's hilarious.
That's when Seward Trainer appears on the digital display of the phone and tells Ben that Dr. Octopus is planning to merge reality with cyberspace, warning the shift will cause untold devastation. Changing into the Scarlet Spider, Ben swings off to stop her. At that moment, Dr. Octopus and her minions arrive at the Darnell building to reclaim her stolen technology. There they are ambushed by Alistair Smythe and his Cyber Slayers. However, the battle turns when Jason So betrays Smythe by disconnecting the connection between himself and the Cyber Slayers. Dr. Octopus easily destroys the robots and turns her attention to Alistair. Meanwhile, the Pro corners Jason So and shoots him dead.
Well, he's gone.
Yep. Oh yeah, he wasn't getting out of this. Recovering her virtual reality helmet, the Doctor alters the device so she can initiate the merger between reality and cyberspace. This causes all hell to break loose, with virtual reality constructs of monsters, dinosaurs, and aliens materializing and running amok in the city. Of all these virtual invaders comes the Master Planner, who's reunited with Dr. Octopus. At that same moment,
it's Molten Man.
It looks like it, yeah. At that same moment, the Scarlet Spider is coming to the aid of the terrorized citizens of Manhattan. After saving a child, he is confronted by a virtual construct of Seward Trainer. He hands the spider a virtual reality virus that he has created that should stop the virtual reality warp.
Oh, yeah, this is funny. Yep.
The Scarlet Spider ambushes Dr. Octopus and the Master Programmer. Knocking down the Master, Scarlet Spider manages to toss the drive that contains the virus into the virtual reality headset. The virus kicks in instantly, ending the merger and seemingly destroying the Master Programmer in the process.
That's how you install chips. If anyone that wants to know how you install computer chips into some equipment, you just throw it in there.
Horrible villains and their technology, man. Chips and dip.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's what you were referring to, Phil.
What?
With this issue having some problems?
Oh, no. Well, at the very... No, we're here. We're going to get to this. No. In the aftermath of the battle, Dr. Octopus manages to get away, leaving the Scarlet Spider to try and make sense of everything. Good luck. Suddenly, an angry mob tries to attack him, causing the Scarlet Spider to flee the scene. Later, Ben Reilly visits Seward Trainer's body in the hospital. Reilly is depressed because So is dead, leaving him out of a job. Dr. Octopus escaped, and thanks to the virtual reality Scarlet Spider, his alter ego has been demonized in the press. Still feeling the need to use his powers for good, Ben Reilly decides that he can still do the Scarlet Spider's job as Spider-Man. Okay, here's my problem. He's like, oh yeah, the Scarlet Spider's reputation is trashed. I know. I'll become Spider... Again, we knew this was coming, man. I'm going to become Spider-Man again. Everyone will trust me. It's like, really? Every other month, aren't people saying, oh, that's, he's a threat. He's a menace.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I liked how, though, his reputation as Scarlet Spider has been sullied. Yeah. But, I didn't think too much of it at the time. I thought, like, oh, that's convenient then. Just become Spider-Man. But you're absolutely right. I mean, that's his whole thing, isn't it? As Spider-Man, like, there's a bit of a distrust with, I mean, it fluctuates. So I kind of like lose track, but generally he's distrusted because of the Bugle. So yeah, fair enough. But I didn't let that worry me too much. But the funny thing for me was that chip. I thought that again, but it depends on how you take it, and I just took it as a comical thing.
I mean, yeah, he didn't install it or anything. He just like whipped it into the thing. But I'm guessing because the virtual reality was merging with reality. It's like, as long as they made contact, it's
Yeah,
I can overlook that, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this had fun stuff as well. A lot of, I mean, is the payoff with the ending from last issue, was the payoff that he gets written in the papers as a menace, Scarlet Spider? Because that seemed pretty big. J. Jonah Jameson's telling Ellis and Angela to go get the Scarlet Spider. And that doesn't really seem to make itself known here. He's already had his reputations dirtied by the virtual Scarlet Spider. So yeah, I found that a little bit of a loose end.
I guess that's just another impetus for him to say, okay, I'm going to be Spider-Man again, because we really, after this, I mean, it's not going to, at least it's not going to be Ben's problem anymore, so.
Yeah. And I think I still hold true with parts 2 and 3. I think they're probably still my favorite. Part 4 it's okay. It gets a little crazy. Obviously it wraps things up, and it actually wraps things up really well, albeit, him turning into Spider-Man. A really nice shot at the end of that shadow of Ben Reilly and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's fun to see the Master Programmer finally take form, that sort of stuff. So it was okay.
I mean, I get it. Maybe they just rushed it, but you knew he was going to be Spider-Man, so it's just like, we need to figure out a way. Yeah.
Yeah, a matter of when. And we still get a little bit on Wade and Stunner, which is cool. And I was happy to see, I'm happy that there were some stakes. Like, we got so just offed by the Pro. So, I mean, you'd think out of all this, someone would have to die, and so that kind of made sense.
So did I forget? Did Orlando skate? Orlando's just.
I think so,
because I don't think he ever comes back. So Orlando got off scot-free.
He's now living on a farm somewhere, just living a simple life.
Or I wonder if he took over So's empire.
Yeah, probably. Well, I mean, you say we know a bit later on. I mean, so we've still got the loose ends of Stunner and Wade. They're still strapped in the machine. So, and Martinez as well. She's the head scientist now. Well, her and her husband are. So,
all right, Ray.
Yes,
you're going to find out about at least one of those characters next month.
Oh yeah, nice. Let it be Stunner. Let it be Stunner.
No, oh my. Okay, Phil Urich, settle down.
Actually, no, I feel really bad for Wade.
Oh yeah.
I think Joe Wade, what a grisly turn of fate for him. Like, he was undercover and stuff. He got caught, and he's now friggin' hooked up to a machine. It's kind of horrific, but yeah.
All right, so
should we give an overall?
Oh yeah, do it. Yeah, what did you think? Give us a rating, Mr. Ray.
I'm always pleasantly surprised with these, going into it, going, oh, okay, look, I've heard so much about the Clone Saga and how it kind of stuffs things up, and is this going to be a good story? But I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was. I'd give it a 4 parts as well. I don't think it needs to be any longer, and I'm not including the Green Goblin bit. That was just as a tie-in to me.
Yeah.
But I'd give it a B.
Okay.
Yeah, B to maybe heading towards a B minus, but because it's not fantastic, but there were some really just entertaining things. Yeah. And the art was up and down. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Yeah, like you said, the art, and again, I had a problem with that ending, just the way they did it. But yeah, there's good, there's bad. Yeah, I think you're B minus. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Did you have something in mind of how you'd like to see Ben Reilly finally put on the spider suit, like the Spider-Man suit? Or
I don't know, just just backed into a corner, and again, that logic didn't make sense to me. But it just should have been, a great power, great responsibility moment, and it's like, yeah. And again, it's like, hey, at this point, he thinks he's the original Peter Parker. He's like, hey, I invented this thing. Why,
For sure. And just actually, before I forget, before we go, circling back to that Amazing Spider-Man 75, how cool was that opening? The opener with young Peter Parker.
Yes.
And that terrifying picture of Ben. He turns around and there's just a hole in the face. Mm-hmm. Really, really scary stuff.
And it's funny because even Ben was mentioning when they went to the same building, the swing and stuff, and it's Ben has all of Peter's memories up to Amazing Spider-Man 150. So
right,
the first 150 issues of Amazing Spider-Man and all of Peter's childhood. Ben has all those memories because he even says, he's like, "Why are you out here?" Because the Uncle Ben, he's like, "I have all those memories in my head."
Yeah, because they may not be real, but they still mean something to him, which is totally valid. You can't
how weird would that be? It's like having this guy's memories and like the memories of his guilt and stuff, and you're like, this is even my guilt, but it's stuck in my head.
Yeah, it's so, that is just so, I don't know, metaphysical. I can't even imagine what it would feel like, because there's a level of detachment because it's not really yours, but emotionally you just feel everything. So it's cool. I'm enjoying this journey of the Clone Saga, but I'm also happy that we managed to fit in a discussion of the latest appearance of Ben Reilly, because I'm excited to see where he goes as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, when we reconvene in a month, I mean, we'll have more issues to talk about too.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
More than one, since we do 3 times. We're doing 3 times a month here. So.
Yeah, that would be great.
All right. You want to know what's coming up, Ray?
Hit me.
All right. Well, next week with me and Lilith Hellfire, we begin. What is this? Like the 3rd annual Hobgobble Gobble month?
Gobble gobble.
Oh no, Green Gobble Gobble month.
Gobble gobble.
Nice.
It's all Harry Osborn stuff. That's right. So yes, in 1 week, Lilith is back. We'll be covering Amazing Spider-Man 136 and 137. That'll be episode 149, kids. Episode 150, Lilith Hellfire and I will talk The Child Within from Spectacular Spider-Man 178 through 183. It's kind of like the sequel to Kraven's Last Hunt.
Okay.
And so Lilith Hellfire and I will cover that for 150. And then not too long after that for Patreon, we are going to talk to Mr. JMD Mateus again about that story.
Nice.
It's one of his,
excellent.
I know it's one of his favorites. So yeah, that's going to be a good talk.
He's such a nice fella.
Oh,
and you guys have good chats with him as well. So.
Oh yeah, he's like one of the nicest guys. All right. And then the week after that, we'll be covering Web of Spider-Man 66 and 67.
Oh, getting close there for Lilith.
Oh, I know. Oh, we already covered 16 Web of Spider-Man 69. That was Spider-Hulk.
Couldn't wait. Oh yeah.
And then, we must have extra Tuesdays in the month because then Spectacular Spider-Man 189, and then back here at the end of November for Sensational Spider-Man #0.
Ooh, sensational!
And gets a new costume and web shooters. Dyes the hair. This is where he dyes the hair blonde.
Okay.
Amazing Spider-Man 407 and Web of Scarlet Spider 3 and 4. Ray.
Oh yeah.
Well, wait, Scarlet Spider? What?
What do you mean? Like we've done Web of Scarlet Spider 1 and 2, right? So
yes, but Ben's going to be Spider-Man now. So how are we getting a Web of Scarlet Spider 3 and 4,
okay, yes,
Ray?
What does that mean?
Oh my God, I can't wait. You're going to be reading that and be like, I see what you did there. All right.
Might be another what the F moment. We'll see.
Oh yes. Oh, you mean like Starhawk? Yeah.
Starhawk.
What the F?
You know, I told a couple of others about that. I can't remember who. I think it might have been Justin and Noel, some other people that we know in the podcasting community, and they were both like they hadn't followed Guardians in the night, so they didn't know that as well. I said, "Did you realize who Starhawk is?" And they were shocked.
Oh my God. I mean, this will be weeks after the fact, but as we're recording this today, it's Noel's birthday. Happy birthday, Noel.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Noel. Yeah.
Those boobs scare me.
You got to get a drop of his latest tag.
Oh, I know.
Slogan.
Throwing a bleep in there.
Yeah.
I need some Justin drops, man. I think I said I'm jealous of that guy's voice, man. Podcasting.
Yes. I love it.
Oh, Cobra Commander, yes.
He's got an awesome voice.
Hey, man, I love podcasting. I got a GG Chichester drop.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
Oh, yeah. Yes. When you start getting drops from creators, you're well in there.
I don't think I was half thinking about it before, but now, be warned, creators. I'm going to be looking for drops.
Jeez, be careful what you say.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, kids. So send your thoughts. Email all the current Scarlet Spider stuff, the classic stuff we have coming up, or even the stuff I'm doing with Lilith. Email us capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you could follow Ultimate Spider-Cast on Facebook, on Twitter. Hey, please go join our Web of Spider-Man Facebook fan group, now at 2.3 thousand members.
That is massive. Awesome stuff. Great stuff.
It's pretty damn big.
That's pretty damn big.
So, yes, find links to all of those, links to all the various social medias for all of our shows here on the Capes and Lunatics podcast, and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks, now the home of all the DC stuff. Green Lantern, Nightwing news, Ray's favorites.
No.
I mean, like,
I love Batman.
I love you're like a hostage. No. And again, Comic Capers and Lilith Hellfire and I are going to have a surprise coming up in 2022. So stay tuned.
I have been made privy.
I know.
To that secret. Very exciting.
The rest of the team hasn't even been made aware of that. It's only me, Lilith, and Ray know this secret.
Yeah. Very cool. Like, I can't wait, actually. I'll be jumping on board, listening and following. If I can. I'm still bloody waiting for DC Infinite to get to Australia, but
I'm like, why? It's just an app,
I know. I don't know.
It's not even like shows or anything anymore. It's just comics. I don't know what their big holdup is.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't know who to call, Bill. I don't know who to hassle, but I'll try.
Yeah, right them. So find links to all the social medias and the links to this YouTube channel. Do you want to know the face behind that Australian accent? Yes, subscribe to the YouTube channel.
You don't want to, don't worry.
Oh my. And most importantly, please, if you can, subscribe to our Patreon. Once again, we're out in the wild now on our own. We've been kicked out of the nest. The team is paying for this out of our own pockets. So please, if anything you can contribute, we very much appreciate it. Or if you want to make a one-time deposit, we have our merchandise. We have our new home at Teespring, because I have the cups and the T-shirts and the phone cases and everything we had before up. But it looks like Teespring even has like extra merchandise. Like they might have more of a variety. So I just have to set all that up. So
nice.
Keep your eyes peeled, kids. But links to everything all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. But yes, most important, Patreon and the Teespring, because in the words of Lilith Hellfire,
we need the money. Gimme.
I'd like to get a Capes and Lunatics apron. I think that would go really well.
They might have. I'm not sure. I know they have. I think they have tank tops. So I know Lilith will probably send you one of those.
No, an apron, because we like Barbies over here, and we're getting into summer soon.
Oh,
I've got to put on the old apron to cook some snags. Put a shrimp on the Barbie.
I knew you were gonna. I was gonna say, what do you say about these Barbies? Some shrimp.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, as we go in the winter, you guys are going into summer. Although I don't know when fall or winter's supposed to start. It's like the middle of October. It's usually colder by now, but
oh wow!
I mean, it's been pretty warm here. I mean, almost.
Oh no!
Almost.
Oh, enjoy it.
I know, almost approaching summer temperatures. It's like
global warming. Who said it's not real?
I mean, yeah. All right, so Ray, I hear you do quite a few podcasts. Can you tell us about those?
I dabble. Basically just a few of them, Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast. Of course, I love it over here doing the Scarlet Spider stuff with Phil. Last Sons of Krypton, we recorded an episode just last night. We're finishing off our review of Unchained, Superman Unchained. Awesome story. Really enjoyed it. And To Know Her Is to Fear Her, the Spider-Woman podcast. Best way to contact me, just hit me up on Twitter at RayRayPod, REY Pod, or you can just find me on Facebook, same moniker as well. Yeah, and always happy to chat about comics. It's a lot of meat. Oh, it's a handful.
Who are you, Lil Hellfire?
That's a mouthful.
That's a mouthful.
Oh, there's so many new drops, Ray.
Look at my butt. Look at my butt.
Look at your what?
Look at my butt.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's funny because I have a Charlie one that says the same exact thing. So I have at least two of them that says, yeah. Oh, man, Charlie Esser is...
In the Butt is fine.
Yes, that's my favorite Charlie Esser drop.
All right, kids. Okay, we're done. The big finish.
The big finish.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Thank you for joining us. Thank Ray for joining us. Go listen to his podcast.
No worries. Always fun.
Again.
More Ben Reilly.
Yes.
Come on.
Hobgobble Gobble starts in 1 week. Or Green Gobble Gobble starts in 1 week. And then come back in 1 month. The sensational Spider-Man era starts. I'm sure we'll have a couple Ben Reilly new issues to discuss. But until next week, swing on back.
The whip. Hi, I'm one of the High Priests of Khonshu Rey, and I have the sacred privilege of providing you, the loony listener, with a podcast honouring Marvel's very own Moon Knight. So join me and a host of others at Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, or support the show by becoming a Patreon member. Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. It's time to get your Khonshu on.